Hey folks, well, for those of you that were paying attention to the numbers on the videos, you'll notice that we skipped one. And I want to explain why that happened. Because technology is not my friend. I go to great lengths in my videos to try and make sure that we got something that's going to work for you. And I have had a few problems in the past that I'm aware of, so we try to make sure things are okay. So before I even put my camera away, I play back the video on the camera to make sure it recorded properly, because I've had problems there. And then when we get into the house, we transfer it to our computer, then we open it up again on our editing software, and I go through all that whole process and play it back again to make sure I'm happy with that. And then before we hit save, well, we check it, we hit save, and once it's done saving to the external hard drive, I go back and I open that one up, because that tells me, that shows me exactly what you're going to see. And I did that. But for some strange reason, when I went to upload it, it uploaded. Took a little longer than usual, but that didn't really strike me as being terribly odd. But when it came to the time for YouTube to process it, it said, no, there's something wrong with it. It's corrupted. The file's no good, whatever. I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. So I went back to the source, my external hard drive, and I went to open that video, and no, I couldn't open it. The file, in fact, had been corrupted somehow. I don't know how it happened. No explanation for that. But I did go back, and the raw footage that I transferred directly from the camera to the computer still existed. So I thought, okay, we'll just re-edit it. But my intro was on the hard drive, and when I plugged the hard drive into the computer, all of a sudden the computer decided it's not going to even recognize my hard drive anymore. So then we had a problem with the computer. So I took my hard drive and I plugged it into my new computer, and it worked fine. But the file itself, it was corrupt. So that just kind of explains what's going on. We're going to re-edit it. The video you're about to watch after this intro is the one that should have been up before my last one, and you're going to get to see where I talk a little bit about that weird horse I got, and well, what we came up with on that one as far as a solution. And yeah, we'll talk about her a bit. But in the meantime, I just thought I'd give you a heads up. The video you're about to see was supposed to come before the one you just saw, but that's okay, because the subject matter wasn't such that it really messed with anything anyhow. So chances are a lot of you didn't even notice that the numbers were out of sync. We actually skipped one, went from 77 to 79. That's 777. 778 was missing. That's the one we're going to redo. That's the one you're going to see right now. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome back. I told you I'd give you a little update on this one, what we're doing here. And well, it turns out things are not what they seem. Because, well, we've been on her a couple times, and not without some issues. But I'm going to talk a little bit about them, because I think we got her figured out, and I was right. She hasn't forgotten a thing. However, she has reverted, shall we say. She's gone back to some antics that from her past. We should do little things like, crow hops and stuff like that to get out of being ridden, because, well, I guess maybe this is something I'll lead up to, is maybe some horses just aren't meant to be ridden. And this, unfortunately, might be one of them. I'm really hoping not, but, well, let's talk about things. I said she was acting like she didn't know what I wanted. No, that wasn't true, because after I turned the camera off the last time, she did exactly what I wanted. After about one lap of the round pen here, she was doing everything she was supposed to, just the way she was taught. And it didn't surprise me, because even on the ground, occasionally, when I want her to do something, she'll pretend she doesn't know. She'll act like she has no idea. I'll give you an example. Is a side pass over a barrel. Common thing we do. And one of the things that she knows how to do quite well. However, occasionally when I ask her to do it, she'll act like she has no idea what I want. And well, all I have to do is put this halter on her, not even a lead rope, just the halter. And then she goes, oh yeah, he means business, okay, we better do it. And I'll put the halter on, and she'll do exactly what she's supposed to do, perfectly. And so that's just one of a few examples of what she does. This is a very, how shall we say, peculiar horse. She's not normal. And maybe that's part of what I like about her. She's a bit of a challenge to figure out sometimes, and I enjoy that. And I also happen to really like this horse a lot, and because I know she actually likes me. It's just like if she wanted to go full out bronc, I'm sure she could if she really wanted to, but she doesn't. The only thing she does is occasionally, she did it again today too, she'd do these little crow hops, and well, at least that's what I call them. I think that's what the right name is for them. Is basically the back end bounces up and down. She doesn't go full bronc, front feet stay on the ground. She just hops up and down on the back like a little threat that, you know, a little bit of a protest kind of a thing. And she's actually done that a couple times recently, and she actually hasn't done that in a very long time either. Just goes to show that she's, you know, going back to a very old playbook that she knows, and she's protesting being ridden. She really doesn't want to be ridden all that bad. And actually somebody else even mentioned that to me, because I did sell her a while back, and she was gone for about 4 years. During the time that she was gone, the lady that had her also kind of made the observation that, you know, she doesn't really want to be ridden all that bad. And I'm sure there probably aren't many horses like that out there, but occasionally I suppose it's possible. You know, there's an old saying, I haven't seen a horse that can't be rode. Then again, haven't seen a cowboy that can't be throwed. That's kind of how that line goes. And I think this is one of those ones, because I remember one time when I did have her for sale, a guy came to look at her, and he said, I haven't seen a horse I can't ride. That was a mistake, because she's smart enough to know what that means. I don't know how she knows, but she knows. This guy got on her. Well, he did some things he shouldn't have done, and well, he went home limping and sent me a scathing email saying I should have the horse put down. Well, as you can see, many years later, she's still with me. I don't care what he had to say. That was his own fault. We've concluded that, in fact, she knows everything, and she can do everything the way she's supposed to. She just doesn't want to. And when it comes to riding, yeah, she's like that. You probably won't find a horse with better ground manners than this one. And you know, we do a lot of liberty work with her too. She's very good. She's smart. She's willing, but she really doesn't want to be ridden all that bad, and likes to protest a little bit every once in a while. She's done a few things over the years that indicates that no, she isn't cool, and she knows what's coming, and you know, she's gonna do something to make my life difficult if she can, and she does. And however, I've gotten to know her well enough that I've figured out some of her things, and when she does them, I kind of laugh at her. And it was interesting, is a while back, well, quite a while back, she was prone to doing spooks, and they were actually fake spooks. And a lot of people say, oh, horses can't do that. They don't have the mentality to be able to figure out how to do that. I disagree. They don't know this horse, because this was going on for a while, and finally one day I noticed a bit of a pattern in her behavior just prior to the spook that told me it was coming. And when I had that figured out, the next time I saw this behavior, and I go, oh, here we go. And sure enough, she spooked, jumped sideways, no big deal. And I laughed at her when she did it. And that was the last time she ever did it, because it didn't get the desired results. She likes to rattle my cage when she can. And long story short, does she know everything? Yep, she knows everything. Does she really want to be ridden? Not really. And she does all kinds of silly stuff to try and get out of being ridden. And you know, this is something that you might run into. The way I've dealt with this particular horse is not the way I would deal with a lot of horses, but because I've had her for quite a few years and I know her games, I know the things that she does. A lot of the stuff didn't come as a surprise to me when it happened, so I was able to figure out that I think she's just messing with me, and I was just a little more persistent. Not harsh, not harsh at all on her, because she's a very sensitive horse. Harsh does not work. That's liable to end badly. But I was just persistent, and I didn't let her little antics bother me. And the next thing you know, she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing, exactly the way she's supposed to be doing it. So, end result. We still got a ways to go before she's going to be a good rideable horse again. And but then again, she always was a little bit of an issue to be ridden. But once you get her out and ride around for a while, after the first 10-15 minutes or so, the head starts to drop down. She gets into the groove and just plods along nice and smoothly. First couple of minutes, pretty much every time you get on her, she acts like a bit of an idiot, and that's just the way she is. And that's not what you want, but that is the way she is. And well, we've learned to live with it over the years. And I haven't given up on riding her again, because since I've downsized and this is my only horse, and I even bought a saddle specifically for her to fit her properly, I've kind of gotten to the point where, yeah, we're going to ride this horse one way or another. We're going to ride this horse, and even if she really doesn't want to, I'm not going to ride her long and hard, but I do want to ride her. So that's what we're going to do. So can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Are we using our normal approach for a horse that doesn't want to be ridden? No, not at all, because this is a very unique horse. Not a horse I would recommend to anybody. It's not a horse that I would want anybody to have, but I know her well enough. I've had her long enough that, well, if you excuse me, there's a botfly buzzing around here that we got to take care of. And yeah, we can swat flies on this horse. That's one of the things that we've done in our desensitizing. She's kind of used to just about anything I want to do around her. And so, things like that also indicate to me that she's not stupid. This tells me how smart she is. Long and short, definitely not a horse for everyone. That's for sure. And not a horse I would recommend. It's not a horse I would let other people ride, but I know her well enough because I've had her long enough. I know what she's capable of and how to deal with things. And, well, that's what we're going to do. Are we going to ride this horse? You bet. We are going to ride this horse. Has she forgotten anything? No. And I've said this before in a couple of videos. And, horses don't forget. They got amazing memories. Absolutely phenomenal memories. I can't say how good. All I know is that, particularly in her case, she's a very smart horse and she remembers very, very well. And so, can she be ridden? Does she know how to be ridden? Does she know her cues? Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. She's already proven to me a couple of things. We got to get her a little better. We got to get on her a little more often so that she kind of gets used to just doing what she's told to do instead of putting up a fuss about it. But all in all, yeah, run a rider. Not a problem. So just thought I'd give you a little update on this one and let you know where we're at. And there you go. Have a good day.